Hello everyone, happy Friday! TGIF indeed. It's sweltering. I mean, that's everybody. There's no use even saying it. It's half the country, but... So, I thought today we would do a little coffee talk and catch up on our friend, our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. Now, she's had a very active week. I'm looking at about 9 videos, I think. Not counting the live streams. Well, maybe counting one of them. So, the Keto Saga continues, so I'm just going to follow along with what she's been up to. And we'll see. There's been, it looks like again, some high points, some low points. The hypocrisy hasn't been terrible this week, but there are a few moments of it. So let's just dive in, shall we? So, it's a cigarette and Diet Coke kind of day. It's not a coffee mug, but... So, we left off on day 2 of the keto journey. And she was just doing a shopping haul of stuff she got. The next thing she put out was a live stream. Sorry guys, you know how I feel about live streams. I just can't. So, that leads us into day 3 of keto. And what I ate today. A lot of these have what I ate today's. So I'll mention bits and pieces of what she ate, but yeah. So 30 days of keto, what I ate today. So, she did have breakfast, which, one of my favorites, she had eggs and cheese. I'm tempted to do keto just so I can binge on, like, fatty junk for a week, but I don't think that's how it works. She did a weigh-in, and her weight was 368.2. Now, I've been following Chantal long enough to know that her weight has stayed within about a 10-pound range over maybe a year or so. I find that interesting considering the amount of setbacks she's had where she's really binged. There was another YouTuber I watched, the YouTube Underground. I catch her from time to time. And she had made the same observation. And I don't know. That's between Chantal and herself, but I find it curious. I'll say that. She also disclosed this, and I feel sad for her. Her waist size, 61.5 inches. Chantal's about 5'1", which is also 61 inches. So she is as round as she is tall. That's unfortunate. There's other words I would use. Other people have used less kind words, but I'm just going to call that unfortunate. So, she's hanging out with her mom that day, and they eat, and she's doing whatever. She goes to the park, she gets on a swing, she's afraid it'll break. You know, I almost think she probably hoped it would, just to get it on camera, but... And her mother makes her keto fudge. Keto fudge. These aren't staying up. I'm sweating like hell. I'm just gonna leave them on. Sweets. I don't know. I don't do the keto thing myself, so there's some things on here that people who do keto are gonna know is shit. But just my observation, nah. So, then she said her mother was talking about her blood sugar, and her mother took her blood sugar. Now, Chantal is pre-diabetic, I believe, as far as she's disclosed. Does she usually take her blood sugar? Does she know what high or low blood sugar means? Is she still seeing a doctor? Does her doctor take her blood sugar? The doctor hasn't been mentioned too much, except for the shrink who's cutting her the script for Vyvanse. So, I'm not sure where the blood sugar thing even came up or why it was relevant at that time. So, Keto Day 4. This was a live stream, not giving up. Basically, she went to McDonald's, from my understanding, and she binged. This was the only live stream I got because I heard there was some dirt in it. When it said not giving up, I figured it meant there was a setback. I had a feeling McDonald's was going to come in based on last week when she said that other person went to McDonald's on their keto thing. So she ate 2 meals, apparently. Well, she has binge eating disorder. That was bound to happen. Maybe best get it out of the way early? I don't know. If she's being honest about the rest of this, you know, it's kind of works itself out as the week goes on. But day 4, day 3, that's early. I mean, I don't know. So, the only other thing that came up in the live stream, and this was cool, okay? At the 24-minute mark, somebody asked in the chat if they ever watched SmokeySteveAndMarc. And they commented on my reviews saying they were tough but fair, something like that. And Chantal said, she doesn't watch my videos. She's heard me comment a few times, and I have commented on Chantal's videos. a couple times, usually prefacing it with, I'm not a hater, I'm not a fan, but I've noticed, ... I think I did it 2 or 3 times, maybe. She said she might check us out. That'd be cool. I'd be curious of what her opinion is of my reactions. So, keto, jalapeno poppers, and storytime mukbang was next. These jalapeno poppers looked great. It was a jalapeno filled with cream cheese wrapped in bacon, dipped in some chipotle dressing she got. So she's telling a TMI story. Her TMI stories while eating make me absolutely ill. I guess there's somebody who's into it because there was 15,000 views. Essentially, she tells 2 stories. One where she takes Pete's to the laundromat, and she believes there's a guy who's going to hit on her. He's been staring at her, he's sitting close to her, he's trying to flirt, she believes, and then he gets up to walk away, and he has an enormous soiled shit stain on the back of his pants, she believes. And then she tells another story about how she went out to eat with Pete's, and she was being harassed by a couple guys, and she was tempted to throw ranch dressing at them. So those were the 2 stories that came along with eating. Otherwise, you know, she was just chatting and eating at the camera. Nothing too crazy. Then another live stream. I had to take notes on separate things. And we go into keto day 5. Day 5, let's see. Okay, she's having bacon and eggs for breakfast, and then she takes an electrolyte pack. Now, I, again, don't know much about keto. Is it a little early to take one of those? Is she at that place in ketosis? I don't know. A casual, ignorant observer. And I'll own ignorant because I don't know a lot about keto. It just seemed out of place, or it seemed premature. I don't know. And then dinner, she had chicken and a salad and whatever. She showed a fortune cookie she got, which says, "You will make a wonderful new home. You will move to a wonderful new home within a year." Yes, fortune cookies. This is the direction we're going to take with our lives. I wonder if she'll take BB. And then she made a microwave bread recipe. She did another one with cheesecake. These things look gross. You mix a bunch of stuff that has low carbs together and you nuke it. And everything that comes out looks like a sponge. Everything that comes out looks like a sponge and is spongy. These things may be good, but I've seen other low carb or high fat, moderate protein, very low carb recipes that do look good. There's a subscriber I have who says she has a kick-ass cheesecake recipe, and she's done keto for a long time and swears by it. So I believe there's good food to be had out there. She ain't cooking it. She's not cooking it. Which leads us into Keto Day 6, cheese shell keto tacos. She said when she had the McDonald's binge, people suggested that she should start over. And she said no, she's just going to continue with the 30 days. And if the binge was a big deal, she'll tack 4 or 5 days on. That's the kind of thinking I usually have, which is not good. But whatever. She is saying she was going to go into the gym to do cardio, but forgot her headphones. So she couldn't do cardio. Now, if she was going to go for like an hour run, I could see maybe not going in with your earphones, because you might, it gets boring. I've gone to the gym and not had my headphones when I used to go to the gym. Now I just go out for walks, like 45-minute walks. And I will not leave the house until I find my headphones, but I usually find them. When I used to go to the gym, luckily there was a Dollar Tree right next door. I used to go to Planet Fitness. And I'd buy a pair of cheapy headphones just to tide me over. I'd spend $1. And granted, they sound like an old broke down radio. Also, my gym used to pipe in music too, that like crappy techno that's supposed to pump you up so you'd feel like you're an animal. And she only did 15 minutes of cardio. Not only, that's a big deal for her. She's a large woman. She's allegedly 380 some pounds. So that's a big deal, and that's what the doctor recommended. But to decide to not do that even because you can't listen to music. So she goes in and does some muscle resistance training, which she shoots about 3 seconds of. And then that's that. So, what else was she up to? She said she was taking it easy because she was getting chest pains and she has embolisms and other things. These become very concerning at that point. So, she also talks about what she's been up to with the weekly shopping. She said she's getting back to that. Back to? I didn't know we were off of it. By the way, was there an update from the doctor at any point recently? The doctor loosely agreed to the keto, And then we haven't heard from him since. She's still on the medication. She said Lexapro and the Vyvanse, so she's still doing the psych med stuff and the weight loss drugs. So that's good if that's prescribed that way. You know, she's taking care of that end of things. But somebody had said something. There was a comment under one of her videos, and this made sense to me as a possibility. When she does these shopping hauls and gets the keto-friendly food, is it just a chance for her to take a few days and eat all the fatty, meaty, cheesy food she wants, and then fall off the wagon and go back to eating carbs and whatever else she wanted? I only say that she might be doing that because of what I just said. I'd be tempted to do that. I would go on a week-long bender of beef jerky and cream cheese myself, and then be like, oh well, I have a disorder, so it's impossible, so I'm just going to go back and eat what I want again. I'd be tempted to do it. I don't know if I would. So next we go into, where is she at now? She goes out with Pete's. And I'm going to say, again, somebody said Pete's was a creeper. Every time I say I like someone, I'm being told I didn't do my research. This is the extent of my research. I like watching different YouTube channels. I don't usually dig too deep into, like, gossip vlogs about people or watch too many reaction channels where people have gone into other areas of their life sometimes. But to the extent that I've seen Pete's on Chantal's channel, so that's the limit of my exposure with him, and it's only been since I've been watching her, he's kind of like fascinating to me in a very goober, mildly creepy way. He's got creep factor, definitely. But there's something endearing about him to me. So they go to the Canadian Museum of Civilization. Not my thing, but the filming was okay. So I'm going to leave that there, because I am poorly cultured, and I'll say that. I'm very poorly cultured. She does a live stream. No thank you. 30 Days of Keto, Day 8, Pizza with Pete's. So, she talks about doing intermittent fasting now. Now, how far away are we going to get from what the doctor originally prescribed? Doctor said, you know, X number of calories, 3 meals a day. That's per the nutritionist. And balance of healthy carbs and X, Y, and Z. Now we're doing keto, and we're doing intermittent fasting. So we're limiting time frames for eating, and we're eating something entirely different than was prescribed. She may have had these discussions with her doctor, but I think if they were doctor approved, she probably would have brought it up by now. I would think, because she would have to know people would be poking at her about it. So, she said in a couple weeks she'll do weigh-ins and measurements, maybe every 2 weeks. She said she enjoys doing the everyday uploads. Wait, because she takes breaks, so it'll probably be a break in this soon. Again, with the TMI, she said the keto might be giving her diarrhea. Okay. She skipped the gym, but she cleaned the house. I feel her. When I clean the house, I sweat. Why? Because I don't clean the house that often. Mark takes very good care of our home. When I do clean, it's usually part of like a big, deep clean, and we don't do that very often. And I sweat when I clean too. So I'll give her that much. When they went for pizza, and then she brought the food home, she had a salad, and then she took the toppings off of 2 pieces of pizza. I know that's keto friendly, but the insanity. Like, order something you can eat that you don't have to vivisect. Like, that's my thinking. And that's not a shot at Chantal, that's just a shot at ordering food. You know, I think that's why a lot of people who do keto cook at home, so they can craft food to their own liking, you know? And then we're on to day 9, 30 days of keto, tired and sore. So she went to the gym and did her 15 minutes. She did some arms and legs. Still intermittent fasting, not thinking about binging on food at all. Then went to Starbucks. Trigger. Drive-through is a trigger. I bet money that that's a trigger. She also said what she's been eating in her everydays. She's eating a lot of the same meals over and over and over. That can be good, that can be bad. Depending on whether you have an eating disorder or not. Because sometimes the excuse of I was bored becomes an excuse to go eat other bad stuff. That's been my experience with eating disorders, that I would eat the same thing over and over and then decide, I need a break. You're doing it to yourself. You're not being force-fed the same thing every day. But it feels like punishment, and then you feel like you need to reward yourself by doing something else. she's not slipping necessarily, but some of the telltale signs I think are starting to be there. Going through the drive-thru. It's a very small thing, eating the toppings off the pizza rather than trying to order something else. She doesn't have to be a martyr. I mean, go out and get food, you know, whatever. But, I don't know. We'll see. This keto saga continues, so we'll see how it fleshes out. I'm cautiously optimistic. This is, again, the longest I've seen her hold on to something, even with the setback. And again, we have to take a grain of salt that she's telling the truth with everything that's on camera. My big concern is that she's steered really far from the doctor's recommendation. And the bit of hypocrisy I find is that she went as far as to go to the Psyche merge to get fast-tracked into getting their help, and has now all but thumbed her nose at it. That is unfortunate. That I've done. That other people have done. She didn't invent it, but it's a quick way to get sick again. And to burn your relationship with a provider. Because if you want to go back, they're going to say, what for? You didn't do what we said last time. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm holding out hope. I am a sucker. But, you know, we'll see. Sicker people than her have gotten better. Heavier people than her have gotten thin. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell to get the alerts. You can follow Mark and I on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and our P.O. Box information is included below. And thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with y'all soon. Bye.